After starting 19-21, the Boston Celtics are now the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those two together have been looking dominant. You have Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, some nice midseason acquisitions in Daniel Tice and Derek White. Those are huge. Welcome back to the channel, man. The Boston Celtics have really turned their season around. 19-21, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they were both struggling. Both of those two cats were struggling, and there was a lot of talk in the NBA world saying, trade them? Trade one of them? Is it time to trade Tatum? Tatum in his first 20 games this season, efficiency-wise, was terrible. He was terrible. Now, Tatum's never really been known for being an extremely efficient shooter, but it was bad. It was bad. He just wasn't getting the job done to start the season. And look at him now. And so I made a couple of Boston Celtics videos this year. Welcome back to the channel, man. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. Boston, when I first started doing some research on the Boston Celtics, it just became so abundantly clear as far as why this team struggled so early on. Their management completely new. Their coach completely new. A lot of their players on their roster completely new. So obviously it's going to take these boys some time to learn the system, learn to play with each other, and kind of get in your groove, get in your mojo. And that's what we've seen. And so I was on Bleacher Report and I saw that Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum have a plus 13.9 for a 22-12 record. Some way, somehow, even better. And first off, by the way, that's the best in the league. That's the best trio in the NBA, statistically speaking. You throw Robert Williams in there with Brown and Tatum, and it goes to 19.5 per 100 possessions. So they're playing great together. They're playing great together. And one thing I mentioned was the acquisition of Daniel Tice and Derek White. And I look at a guy like Derek White and I think, wow, the Boston Celtics got him for that. It's a highway robbery, and this is a trade we're gonna go back and look at in several seasons and be like, damn, that was tough. That's a smooth maneuver. As Chris Smoove would say, what maneuver could possibly be smoother? Derek White's one of those basketball players where, especially because he was on the Spurs, no disrespect to the San Antonio Spurs, I love them, but they've been rebuilding recently. And so Derek White's that kind of guy where if you're not watching him play, you're probably not that aware of his impact. Even still now on the Boston Celtics, if you haven't watched a Boston Celtics game since they've acquired Derek White, you probably don't really know his true impact, because statistically, it's not like it's anything crazy. It's not like it's DeJounte Murray numbers where you're like, oh my God, whoa, seriously? He's also coming off of the bench for Boston, and he's providing immediate offensive and defensive support. This is a gritty grinder, a guy who works on quick decisions. He's one great decision maker. He's a great playmaker. He can play great defense. Derek White possesses all the attributes that you need, and he's coming off the damn bench, dude. He's coming off of the bench. Daniel Tice. This is probably one of the more low-key trades of the offseason, or of the season, trade season. You guys see this Houston Rockets flag. Personally, I'm really excited to get him off of my basketball team just because we're not in the Boston Celtics situation, right? We don't need a solid veteran center for 4 seasons when we're the worst 3 teams in the NBA. We just don't need him. So the Celtics, you go ahead, you trade him away, and you trade him away for basically nothing. Schroeder, who, I really like Schroeder, but they got Derek White. They got Derek White. And his Cantor and his Freedom, who ended up getting waived. He may never play in the NBA again just because of political, all that political BS. I don't really know the whole situation, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't play another NBA game again. And who was the other? Bruno? Was it Bruno? Bruno Fernando, was it? I mean, come on. Boston, this was a great trade, honestly, for both teams here. Daniel Tice, defensively, is phenomenal. And offensively, he's solid as well. He's solid as well. He's going to do all the right things. He's been in this team before. He's played with these guys before. He's going to fit in perfectly as he already has in very limited playing time. So looking at that starting lineup, man, you have Robert Williams, who is turning into one of the most young, promising centers in the NBA. You have Al Horford, who is rock solid just as a player. Like Al Horford, I don't give a damn on what his age is. This man has been around in the league for so long now. I remember the Atlanta Hawk days. It feels like an eternity ago. But he is still providing you with value. He's still providing you with great value. Offensively and defensively, he gets the damn job done. Marcus Smart. There's always rumors about trading Marcus Smart. And I'm so glad the Boston Celtics didn't, because, I mean, first off, we all know what he brings you defensively, right? We all know what he brings you defensively. But his playmaking, especially this season, has taken a major jump. It's taken a major jump. And you need playmakers alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You need guys who can set themselves up and who can help set those two guys up, because that's your offense right there. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that is your offense. J&J, that's your offense. Those are two absolute studs in the NBA. And you need to get them the best looks that you can get them when they can't create an ISO, when they're having trouble creating an ISO, or just, I mean, you can't create an ISO all game. You need playmakers beside those guys. Derek White works perfectly, and Marcus Smart this season especially has worked out perfectly as the plus 13.9 in 693 minutes. That's a 65% win percentage at 22-12. Like I said, that's technically, statistically speaking, it's the best trio in the NBA this year. So Boston right now has over a 10% chance to win the NBA. And let me just fact check myself, because I believe that's good for third in the league. It's good for fourth in the league. They have a 10.1% chance to win the NBA Finals. That's only behind the Suns with 27.5, the Warriors with 17.7, and the Jazz with 12.5. And we all know the Jazz are not winning the Finals this season. So the way I see it, the Boston Celtics are number 3 and most likely to win the NBA Finals. They've got the offense, they've got the defense, they've got the coaching staff, they have the depth, they have it all. Boston has it all. And it's just so crazy, especially from an outsider's perspective who saw all the Celtics struggles in the first half of the season. 19-21, that's the first half of the season. It was at 40 games. And so to see this progression, the best defense, they have the best defense in 2022. So it's been almost 2 months. It's been almost a whole 2 months, and the Boston Celtics have the best defense in the NBA. And by the way, it's not close. It really is not close. They are holding they're holding opposing teams to less than 100 points at 99 points per game. That's like better than second place's defense by like 8 points. It's crazy. What Boston is able to do right now, you do not want to play them. You do not want to play them. They've won 9 out of their last 10. They're coming off a crazy little win streak. Unfortunately, couldn't get that going into All-Star break, but Boston's sitting at 6, dude. They're sitting in the playoffs. What a crazy season it's been. So that's really it for today, man. Go ahead, drop some comments down below on the Boston Celtics. How far do you think the Boston Celtics are going? Hit the like button, hit that sub button as always, and I'll see you guys later.